First of all, just want to say we're very excited to be here. This is our first time pitching to investors, so we're very excited about this. Really appreciate Avalanche organizing the event. It's been... Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yeah, so I was just saying, very excited to be here. This is our first time pitching to investors, so really appreciate the opportunity. I'm really grateful of Avalanche for organizing this. Is the mic okay here at the back? All right. So we are Molingo. We're building a gamified language learning app. Quick introduction of who we are. So we are 4 graduate students at the University of Washington. And we come from all different backgrounds. We've got design, tech, and of course business skills. And we're coming together to build this app together. We're all passionate language learners. And really the key challenge we've seen in our language learning journeys is it's so hard to stick with it. Language learning is something that requires consistent motivation. You want to be coming in daily to practice your language if you can. There was a study of thousands of participants looking at why did they not achieve their language goals. And sometimes it's the difficulty or the lack of resources, but the key thing is motivation. So we saw what was happening with GameFi and Web3, play to earn, learn to earn systems, and we thought this would be a perfect fit for language learning. We wanted to build a learn-to-earn system to keep users motivated and keep them consistently practicing their language skills. So that's what we're building, Molingo. It's as you learn and improve your language skills, you're going to earn tokens and NFT rewards. These tokens can be spent on premium language content, different gamified features, and that will keep you motivated and help you achieve your language goals. So the way they're going to learn, we're building this culturally themed story mode. This one is for Mandarin Chinese. And so right now they're in Chengdu, the city of the pandas. As they practice their language skills, when they get things correct, they're going to earn some tokens. And we built out this whole NFT rewards system. So to access our basic story mode content, you're going to purchase one of our NFT characters. They will come with you on your culturally themed journey. And so going through the Mandarin content here, they're going to earn culturally themed NFTs. They just completed the Chengdu area, and they got lucky here. They got the rare panda hat from Chengdu. This one has a special ability. When you make a mistake in your language learning, you get to correct that mistake once per day. But that's a very rare piece of loot. If you already have a good hat for your character, you can trade it out on our marketplace for other players. These are all NFTs that can be freely traded. To develop our content, we're working with, of course, the language school at University of Washington. They've been really helpful for us. Also, Tsinghua University, which is the top university in China, and Beijing Language and Culture University, they're the top Chinese language school in China, and they've been really helpful, helping us create really great content, giving us lots of feedback on that. In terms of the market size, language learning is enormous. There's 2.2 billion learners in the world, and what we've seen from other products is they're able to attract hundreds of millions of users. Duolingo is our leading competitor. They have over 500 million users and 42 million monthly active users. Compare that to Ethereum mainnet, that's more than 5 times the monthly active users of Ethereum mainnet. So, the amount of users that we can bring to the Avalanche blockchain with our app is really enormous. And from the business side as well, we can bring a lot of users and we can monetize them like crazy as well. Duolingo is definitely a really great company, 4 billion valuation, hundreds of millions of users, but it uses a Web 2 freemium model. It really struggles to monetize those users. What we've seen with Axie Infinity, StepN, lots of these GameFi projects in Web3 is that they can monetize those users on a whole nother level. This is just one example of Axie Infinity. In 2021, their revenue was more than Duolingo has earned in the past 10 years combined. So put this together, we have, first of all, from the user side, we think this experience is really motivating. It will get them coming back, and they will have really great outcomes with their language learning. But also from the business side, this is much more profitable than traditional language models. So put this together, we think this Web3 approach is the perfect fit for language learning. So our business model, so you purchase an NFT character that will give you access to our basic language learning content. We'll make secondary sales as people trade their NFTs. Also, all of the NFT rewards they earn in-app will earn royalties on those. We also have lots of in-app purchases. So we have personalized lessons, various gamified features. We're writing some mini stories. And the revenue from these is primarily being used to fund the learning rewards. And I'll explain how that works. So our tokenomic model broadly is the two-token model that's been widely used in GameFi, things like Axie Infinity, Step N. So we have a governance token and a rewards token. But the key problem that we've seen and we're trying to learn from in some of these projects is the rewards token is not sustainable. They fund the rewards through inflation. It quickly falls away in price. That's not going to work for us. We're trying to get people to learn languages. That is a long-term goal. We need long-term sustainability. So to make the rewards token price more sustainable, we're essentially funding it through these in-app revenue sources. What that means is when you purchase personalized lessons based on your mistakes or the mini stories or different gamified content, we take a small tax for the team and the rest of the token is burnt. This is how we're going to keep the supply under the control. And this is a very complex looking diagram, but this is just to show that we're taking this seriously. So this is simulations that I've been doing of our supply. So this, it's something I can walk through in more detail after the pitch. But this is the journey of a user. They earn tokens. They have different channels to spend it with different prices, different amounts burnt. They can trade it in a liquidity pool. And what I'm doing is I'm using this simulation and then with probabilities, taking Monte Carlo simulations and seeing what will happen to the supply if I have different price of different things on our app. Again, this is something I can talk about in detail afterwards, but the point is, we're taking the tokenomics very seriously. We're making sure that our supply is robust over the long term and that rewards token is price sustainable. So in terms of our roadmap and fundraising, we're looking to raise $600,000. This will fund us for 12 months development, by which point we will have our Chinese language content launch and English language content launch. At that point, we will look to raise again and expand into other languages. Thank you very much. And any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes. Yeah, so that's definitely a complicated bit. Tsinghua University is, we're working with them to work out how can we, make this token available to Chinese users. I'm part of the blockchain society at Tsinghua University. They are the top university in China, and we're kind of working on strategies for that. But yeah, the goal is that Chinese users should be able to access the app. Yep. Yes? Mm. Yeah, it's a great question. We've had a lot of debate about this. Obviously, of course, long term, our goal is onboard any language learner, but we've been doing usability tests with our first demo. It is complex for non-Web3 native people. So our initial audience, we are aiming at people that are curious about NFTs, either are willing to learn about them, we will provide material to learn about it, or have some basic knowledge, but are also language learners. So initially at that intersection, and eventually, once we make our UX smooth enough, we want to expand into all language learners. Oh, yeah, over here. Yes. So do you mean like, how are we going to explain? So in terms of explaining the tokenomics and these things, the simplest way that we're trying to say is that it's is funded by our revenue rather than inflation. And we will make it very clear the use cases of the token and what products they can purchase with it. But yeah, definitely that is a challenge, and it's going to be a process of going to customers, seeing if this makes sense to them. It's a process that we've started off already. Oh yeah, this is our contact us if you want the. Yep.
What do you think other extra earn applications have gone wrong that you guys are getting right?
Yeah, so the key learning point is on that tokenomic side. StepN, for example, or Axie Infinity with their SLP, they way overinflated the money supply. That's caused a massive crash in price. And so that's why we're putting so much effort into thinking about ways that we can make the supply sustainable over the long time. So they inflated their supply too much, that crushed the price. So we're going to essentially sacrifice some team revenue to fund those rewards through burns. And that's how we're trying to address it. All right, thank you very much.